What is up, Goat Farm? Welcome to the next or latest episode of Goats Golf Highlights. Thank you for joining me and thank you for all the love and support so far. Real quick, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, find me on Instagram as PJRSCRATCH. Let me know what you think of this so far. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it just as much. I got to give a shout out to my brand partners. I got to talk about Swannies, Squares, and Pin Golf right now, and another one up in the air as soon as the contract gets signed that I'm super excited about. Make sure you check the bio for coupons and links to those. All right. So what seemed to be a week that nothing happened in golf, a lot actually happened. So that's what I'm here for. I'm going to give you all the lowdown on what just happened. So let's start with the Mexico Open. We just had our third Rookie of the Year win. It goes by the name of Jake Knapp. And what's so fun about this round of golf or this tournament victory of his is, one, he gets into the Masters and the PGA. And on top of that, he gets tour status, and he won his very first event, which is very exciting. But he was leading by 4 strokes going into Sunday. And his driver was just poetic all week. Sunday came around, driver decided to disappear on him. Dude hit 2 fairways all day, still found a way to grind it out and take home the W. Unbelievable. It shows a lot of grit and a lot of determination. There's a lot of great talent, so maybe he's somebody that we need to be watching coming up. He's been trending in the right direction. I think he had a tight for T28 at the Farmers Insurance as well. Congratulations on your win in Mexico. That's super exciting, but it does go back to show you that the last winners of these events have always driven the ball exceptionally well. He drove the ball well for 3 days, and that's what got him into that position. I mean, even Cameron Champ, who fell short, he shot like 6 under on the first day. So driving the ball in Mexico is very important. So when this comes around next year, make sure you kind of keep that in mind. Another interesting development is we had Charlie Woods, the son of Tiger Woods, play a pre-qualifying round for the Cognizant Classic, also known as the Honda Classic. Honda pulled their sponsorship, but it's still going to be held at the same golf course. But Charlie decided he was going to do the pre-qualifier. He was the first one of the range that day, and that poor kid shot an 86. I'm not saying that as a slight towards him whatsoever. He had a blow-up hole. He had a 12 on a par 4. If you ever played competitive golf, you know that happens. You know, you can't drop one up there. You can't just, do whatever rules that you play by. You got to keep hitting it. And if you keep hooking it off the tee, you just got to keep re-teeing it. So, but it's really cool to see that he's out there and he's giving himself that experience, and that he's taking it upon himself to do that. I'm just happy to hear that he's out there and that these young kids are getting after the game. So that's just very exciting in general to me. In big news, this is huge news for me. We have the comeback of Anthony Kim. He is going to be playing at the Jeb, and I think it's in Saudi Arabia, for Live Golf. He's playing as an alternate. He doesn't have a team. Not to say that he won't end up on a team. The politics over there are a little bit different. Saudi Arabia, Live Golf, but we don't know how this is going to work out for him. I just want to see him play again. All I ask is that he brings back the big belt buckle and all the swagger. They've already put out a little ad video hinting at his comeback. This is a big deal because he actually had to leave golf due to an injury and got paid this fat insurance policy. But the deal was he could never play golf again, at least competitively, from my understanding. And if he did, he had to pay back all of that money. And it was not like a few million. It was like hundreds of millions from my understanding. So what does this mean? I think Norman and Liv are going to cover the tab, and they're going to bring AK back, which is super cool. Again, have no idea how he's going to do. I think there's going to be rust. He's not young anymore, but the kid always had the swagger and the personality, and he definitely had game. So I'm wishing him the best. I hope we get to see lots of AK, lots of Anthony Kim. I want the belt buckle. I want him swinging hard and walking through his fairway wood shots and the driver off the deck. It's always entertaining and exciting to watch. So keep an eye out for Anthony Kim. I do have a development. I want to make sure I don't butcher this guy's name. His name is Ronald Drugumayo. So he was the first guy from Uganda to ever make the cut in a DP World event, or any world event for that matter. So that's on a major tour. So this is huge. I mean, such a great story. Swing stresses me out a little bit, but he's the first one in the history of Uganda to ever do this. So congratulations to Uganda. What a performance. I hope to see more of you, and I hope this really paves a way and inspires people. I mean, in his interviews, he was talking about how much he loved watching Tiger Woods. And actually, he grew up playing soccer, and it was a team sport for him. And he decided that one day his brother came home. He had won a local event. He came home with a trophy and a TV. And he said that's what got him into golf. He's like, with golf, it's just you out there. And I just wanted to go do that. I'm like, I thought that was super cool. I mean, his brother brought home a TV and a trophy, and he's like, I want the TV and the trophy. So he went out there, and he just made history. He's the first Ugandan to ever make a cut at a major world tour. So that is absolutely freaking fantastic and rad. So congratulations to you, sir. I hope to see more of you. Maybe they give you some exemptions, something like that. Super awesome. And we're going to finish this week talking about the Cognizant Classic. So this event is used to be the Honda Classic, kind of fell off over the last few years. Not quite sure why. It just didn't have the star power that it used to have. That being said, Chris Kirk did win this event last year, and that was like his breakthrough win after sobriety. So it was fun to watch him win there. I've seen, I believe, Ricky Fowler's won there. Rory is going to be in the field this week, and he won there, I believe, in 2012, but he hasn't been back since 2019. So he looks to be taking a much more tournament-heavy approach this time to the Masters, which I think is a good thing because with all due respect to Rory, nothing else has worked for him so far. So obviously you got to keep throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. So I'm interested to see how he's going to handle this course considering he hasn't played it in like 15 years. I think he's just a different golfer than he was then, and I don't know how he's going to perform. His last few events in the States, he's been off to a hot start, then he blows up a hole and he just can't seem to regain that ground. I don't know if it's a mental thing with him or a physical thing. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to be honest. After the Genesis, when he was in the booth, he sounded sick. He didn't sound right. He sounded hoarse. He didn't sound like quite himself. So maybe he's dealing with some stuff and he's not being, very transparent about it. I know there's some jokes that he's going to go to Live Golf. I really don't see him doing it. But I will say this. In defense of Rory, if he decides to actually take the Live contract, Phil has already announced that we need to stop all the bickering and hatred in golf. We need to just drop all of this and get together. I think if Rory was willing to compromise and maybe take a Live deal, not that I want him to because I want him on the PGA Tour, I think that would ultimately bridge the gap between the PGA Tour and Live. And I'm not saying that's what it's going to take for this to happen, but I think that'll definitely force the PGA Tour's hand a little bit. At least you would like to think it would. After losing Rahm, say hypothetically, they lost someone like Rory next. That's a big deal. Sorry, PGA Tour can't take that L. And Greg Norman's even been very, very blunt about the fact that he's been in negotiations with Hideki, and he's been trying to get Hideki for weeks now. So, I mean, still love Hideki. I want him on the PGA Tour because I still think he has a lot of history to make. So hopefully Hideki doesn't go. But, we're kind of talking about maybe the PGA Tour adapts a team setting for like a small portion of the year. I think it would be great during the winter months when you're playing some of these events that people don't pay attention to. Add a team element to it. I think it would be great for the winter months. But let's talk about the bear trap, all right? We have the three of the toughest holes in golf at Honda, or Cognizant used to be the Honda. And we don't know who's going to navigate this and win this year. It's a different field. It's a different sponsor. It's almost like a fresh start for the tournament. I kind of like Daniel Berger for it. I don't know why. I just do. This course typically plays windy, so you need to be a good wind player, and you have to have a lot of grit and resistance and know when to take your pars and bogeys and move on. So this is a grinder's course is the way that I see it. So you need to know when you can score and when you need to take your medicine, and how you carry yourself and how you discipline yourself out there, I think will ultimately determine who comes out on top. So thank you for tuning in this week. I always appreciate the love and support. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out the comments in the bottom. Let's get excited for AK coming back. Let's get excited for the rebirth of the Honda. We have the Masters here in a few weeks. Super excited about all of this, all right? So, like, subscribe, comment. Remember, what is the best that could happen? I'm sending my love to all of you. Deuces.